Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Monday the 19th of January. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first. And Friday we managed to actually find some support into the monthly S3 area of the pivot there, monthly S3 pivot. And seen a reasonable bounce since then. Now we've got some potential upside or potential upside target of the weekly pivot, which sits around the 160, was it 160, 116.28 sort of area. I'll put a shove up to that sort of level. Would see the pivot taken out, and which is reasonable probability, as we see. Beyond that, we've I mean, if we get back into the bands, we could run up then eventually towards the daily 8 again. Last time we ran into that, of course, we saw it sell off. It was consolidated, sold off, and ran down last week. At the moment, of course, with the way the things are and the lower highs, lower lows, for me the trend is really still much to the downside. I prefer the downside in terms of trading in some respects, although can't fight the obvious the bounces, etc. So at the moment, as I say, we've got the upside target there. It's around about 16.28, 116.28. If it carries on running like this, and we've got momentum that runs with it, it's a possibility I'll work towards that area, although I do prefer the downside. And if it breaks this trend line I've drawn on here, I mean, it's pretty much horizontal trend line sitting around about 15.50, somewhere in that region. I would look for potentially selling back down towards the lows. So that's how I sit on the euro at the moment with cable. Much messier pattern on the last week in the dailies there, sitting all over the S3 there. It could end the month above the S3, but we've still got some time to go yet. Weekly pivot is above us at 150, 159, so there's a bit of an upside target from that point of view. But again, it's so messy with these lower highs, lower lows. The trend has to really be to the downside, so a break of this trend line here, proper break, could see me looking for the low side. And again, target's really sitting there at the intermediate lows, and then probably Friday's low. There's some prior lows sitting around that area, and maybe all the way down to that S1. So it is looking quite bearish at the moment. Dollar yen. Okay, dollar yen is much more choppy again. It sort of makes the dailies very difficult in some respects. Although, yeah, with all these lower highs that we've been seeing put in and lower lows, the trend really is still for a strengthening yen against the dollar. So the dollar yen still moving to the downside. Although I think any positive surprises, I'd almost rather be on the long side at times of the dollar yen. Any positive surprises dollar wise, could see a sharpish move up, as we saw on Friday there, quite a sharp move up there. Could see similar pattern. We're in this sort of consolidated phase here, which could break either way at the moment. The short or intermediate time here really is looking much more like you're starting to put higher lows. Well, a higher low and a higher high, broke the previous highs there, so it's got high low there. But we've then sort of almost gone the other way from this consolidating pattern. So, as I say, very indecisive there. Really, maybe it could gain a bit more strength to the downside. No real targets for me to aim at the moment there. Finally, then the Aussie dollar. So remain neutral on the dollar yen. Okay, Aussie dollar. Again, well, actually, Aussie dollar's done its best each time to try and push up each day, and it's been putting some sort of higher lows in, a couple of higher lows in, but not managed to always put the higher highs in. We've on this 4-hourly pattern, it's sort of got this higher high here that sort of pushed up on this second push last week, but very choppy. To me, it could easily roll either way. I've got this drawn these trend lines here. Really, the intermediate trend is erring towards the upside. It could push up, so I'll be looking for the long side if it breaks above these highs here. Otherwise I'm looking at the short side below the lows here, so pretty simple in that respect. With the other currencies and the dollar strengthening most of the time for quite much of the time, it's easier often to be just taking letting the dollar have its strength and going for the downside. But the Aussies tried to buck that trend a bit last week. We have no significant news out today, and the US are on holiday this afternoon. So I say this afternoon, they're on holiday all day, but all day Monday they're on holiday. So as it moves into Monday for the US, which it already has, we'll see it's a holiday for them. And there is a German Buber monthly report due out around about 11 o'clock this morning. Whether we get any more clues or anything in that which might just create a bit of volatility, we'll see. But for now, I'm expecting it to be very quiet this afternoon and relatively probably choppy this morning. That's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.